welcome back to the channel and welcome back to what I hope is a fully operational Jaguar XK8. As you may remember from last time, I had a problem starting this car and I thought it was the throttle body to start with, and I ended up having a look at quite a lot of stuff, and what came in a lot of use actually was my ODB2 reader. So I've just got one of these cheap Bluetooth jobbies that goes in the slot there, and using an app on my phone called Car Scanner, I was able to see lots of different sensor readouts and things, and one of them was fuel pressure. So fuel pressure for this car when the ignition is on should be somewhere between 40 and 50 psi, or maybe even slightly higher than that. My car was reading less than 1, so something very wrong there with the fuel pressure, and checking fuses and things, nothing seemed to be amiss there. And I ended up looking at John from To The Garage's website, and on his website he has a guide written by somebody called Gary Van Remortel, I think that's how you say his name, and it's a PDF document about the XK8 called the XK8 Bible, and in there is a cold start issue checklist basically of things you should check, and on the list was this thing called the inertia switch. So the early cars had an inertia switch which is up in the fascia fuse box on the passenger side, I think, and it's just a button with a sort of rubber cap on the top, and you press it to reset it there. But in later cars it's actually a bit further forward than the bonnet release, so down in the passenger footwell on right hand drive cars, and I pressed that, and looking at my ODB2 reader, if I get the letters around the right way, it was showing that the fuel pressure went back up to around 60 psi, which again, it seems a bit high, I think, based on what other people are saying in forums and things, but better than less than 1. And turned the car over and it cranked into life, but then subsequently died on me. And that was kind of how I left it at the end of the last video I did. It would start and then die. I'm continuously pressing the inertia switch, kind of brought the car back to life, and you could kind of keep it running if you kept pressing it. Now the inertia switch, if you don't know what it is, I didn't know what it was, is a switch which when you have a crash, it's supposed to sense the impact of it and cut off voltage or interrupt the voltage to the fuel pump, and that stops fuel from leaking everywhere all over the road and causing some sort of fire hazard. Likewise, I think it's supposed to cut in when you have a major fuel leak. It's supposed to detect that and cause the fuel pump to stop pumping. So hopefully I haven't got a fuel leak, but what I did notice was when I was pressing the inertia switch, my finger was getting more and more wet, and I noticed that just around the switch as well, it was a little bit damp. So people report footwell dampness in the passenger footwell in XK8s, and I think it's more to do with the aircon and stuff, but that's more to sort of the middle centre of the car, whereas this is right over towards the wing kind of thing. So I think water is somehow getting into the car and leaking onto my inertia switch and tripping it. I'm yet to find the source of the leak, and I found a Jaguar bulletin which tells you how to sort of figure out where it's coming from. So one person in the car and a hose is the crude way they sort of say to try and identify it, but it gives a list of all the possible places it could come in for different parts of the car. So either it could be where the bonnet release wire comes out, it could be going in there, it could be a seam that's kind of misaligned, or a seal or something like that. So that's something I'm gonna have to do another day to try and figure out exactly where that leak is coming from, maybe later today if I get the time to do it. So that seems to be the cause of my problem, and actually the more I've pressed it and the drier weather, you can see the sun coming in here, has meant that the switch has dried out a bit, and the switch, it feels more button-like to press now. When I first started pressing it when it was raining and stuff outside, it felt very like there wasn't very much feedback, like I wasn't pressing a switch at all, and I think because it was so waterlogged it just wasn't returning back up properly or whatever. But now it's dried out a bit, it's very much more like a button to press, so I think that must be the cause of my issues. And as a temporary measure, I've put a plastic bag over the top of it so the water doesn't go directly into the top of the switch, but obviously it's a fault that I need to rectify pretty quick to stop other things from failing and rust starting to form and that kind of stuff. And actually it's on the side where I do have rust on my passenger footwell, so potentially that is the cause of that. So again, another reason to fix that there. So something I missed out on last week was actually taking this car for a drive, and now that I think I've fixed it, so let's give it a go. There we go, burst into life, which is brilliant. Take it for a quick drive, make sure it doesn't break down on me on a short journey to get some firewood, as it's a very chilly January for us in the UK at the moment. And then just see how we get on. Hopefully get some footage, but as you're not really supposed to drive too far for too long because of the coronavirus stuff, it'll probably be quite brief sort of montage of driving shots there, but it's better than nothing. Apart from that, I don't think there's too much going on with this car, apart from the things I mentioned last time. So still yet to find out why my heated screen only works on the passenger side, and I've still got to sort out my headlight, but I'm just going to enjoy the drive now and hopefully share it with you. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you again next time. See you later. Bye bye.